Hey Taurus, and we'll get started. All right, well, there you go. There's your ending. Again, I don't necessarily know that this is an ending between you and another person. And for some of you Taurus, I think you're like way excited for that. Because the World card represents the end of the major arcana in the tarot deck. The World card represents abundance, satisfaction, belonging, fulfillment, and so I feel like you're kind of saying goodbye anything that didn't happen this year, anything that I didn't feel like I belonged, like anybody I didn't feel like I belong with, or jobs or anything. Very high vibration here, Taurus. You guys have there's very good static in the air about this, because the world coming up to me says that you're like, I'm good, like we had our fun, we had our thing, we had our fling, and now we're moving on to bigger and better. And I don't think it's respectfully like, oh, I'm moving on from him or her, and you may be, but I just feel like it's kind of like, okay, this year is ending, but the positive note coming after that is, but new beginnings are coming. Okay, the next card you have is your current position. You have the Page of Pentacles, which is very much about being responsible, being pragmatic, but also about still aspiring to something bigger. And I think this is very interesting, which is, I can go any direction I want. I can pick any road I want. I'm ready to move on to bigger and better, raise my vibration. And the Page of Pentacles is like, yes, we're ready to do that, but we're also ready to do that aspiring for something, but at the same time being practical and responsible about it. So I kind of feel like some of you Taurus are like, and so I just get this feeling that it's almost like there were ups and downs all around. Shit, that's for every, sign, every person. That's just life in general. But this is more of a literally feeling like I made some mistakes and now I'm recovering from them. I'm fixing them. But at the same time, like, I always try and be on my A game. Anyways, there's somebody out there who, like, literally it's like, well, I make the best decisions I can based on the circumstances I'm given. You're like, screw that. I'm going to make the decisions I want based on what feels right. Like, it's all almost like all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I'm going to follow my emotions, or I'm going to actually listen to my gut this time. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? The next card you have is how you're feeling. You have the Empress. Good. Pedestal. Like, every time I see the Empress, I feel like this is a pedestal, and I feel like you need to raise your vibration towards. You need to be like, yes, I deserve to be on this pedestal. Not in a conceited way. Why is it when you put yourself on a pedestal or you feel good about yourself or whatever, there people want to bring you down. Situations want to bring you down. Oh, you look great. You lost 5 pounds. Oh, well, she must. Blah, blah, blah. Like, who cares? Like, let's stop with the naysaying. Let's build each other up instead of putting each other down. And the Empress is that type of person. You know what? Your negative energy is not going to change my vibration. Your negative energy is not going to account for an nth of my energy, because literally the Empress is about creativity. This is sensuous. This is, I'm going to love people deeply. I'm going to care about people deeply, but the people who treat me wrong or don't respect me, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching out for number one, and so what if I'm on a pedestal? I should be on a pedestal. I work my ass off. I treat people good. I take care of my kids. I take care of my fur babies. I do. And none of us are perfect. So why don't we start trying to acknowledge the blessings and the good that we do have and we do possess, instead of always putting ourselves down or always letting other people make us feel a certain way? And I just feel like, Taurus, you're done. You're like, no, I'm Taurus. Hear me roar. It's kind of funny. Wait until you see wish paper, because I wrote on your wish paper before I did the read, and now I kind of think it makes perfect sense. All right. Distant past. You have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is resting, completion. It's a happiness. It's a, we're in a mindset of, we can make this work. It's congruent. However, it's distant past. And I think the universe is trying to remind you that even if it doesn't work out with this person, or even if it hasn't worked out with a few people, don't forget what it is you want. Now, for some of you, it is marriage. For some of you, it is kids. For some of you, it is, I want to go on adventures with somebody no strings attached, whatever it is. The Four of Wands is showing up right now from your distant past saying, when did you forget about what it is that Taurus wants? When did you forget what it is that you really aspired to? Aspiring, like the Page of Pentacles. So let's remember that, Taurus, and let's start forward momentum to make that happen, regardless of anybody else in your life. I mean, obviously, if you have kids and fur babies and whatever, but you get my drift. Like, all of that can move succinctly, but you can't move that way if you have drama or negativity that brings you down. The next card you have is your your immediate past, or the past few weeks. All right, so your immediate past is the Knight of Cups, which the Knight of Cups is very much like fanciful, romantic, dreamy. And I feel like maybe Taurus, this person has come in and been like, I miss you, Taurus. I miss you. I want to spend time with you. Or it's weird because I almost feel like it's false advertising. And I don't want to be negative in the way of like, oh, they're no good for you or they're not treating you right. It's not that. But I definitely feel like this person kind of comes in and out whenever they feel like it. Or they tell you what they think you want to hear, but then they don't back it up. The Knight of Cups is not a negative card by any means. And most of the cards in the tarot are not negative. But the Knight of Cups is about a whimsical, romantic feeling. And I feel like you get like this spurt of that from this other person. They contact you, they communicate, and then nothing. And then it's like it flatlines. And you're like, what the hell is going on? So on top of that, Taurus, and cross washers, you can reverse this and don't get upset. But a Taurus, I mean, I think there may be other people here playing for your attention or energy. Not playing games, but like, maybe I should say pining, but not really pining. Just people who are like, well, he or she is separated or not seeing this person anymore. And maybe it's, you know, they're still in pain, but I think they're pretty cool. I'd like to get to know them. So on the flip side, I kind of feel like the Knight of Cups is saying there's somebody out there who's like, hey, Taurus, how you doing? All right, the next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Death card. Death card is not a physical death. It is a very, very inspirational card, actually, and it's Scorpio's card. So you could have Scorpio energy in your chart, or you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But the Death card is about change, rebirth, transformation. This is completely about, you know, big changes are coming. And I feel like it's weird because you have the World card, which is a major completion and the end of the major arcana, and then a new cycle begins. And I feel like this ties into it. So I hate to say it, Taurus, but for some of you, I feel like this is all newness. Like you're just going to be like, nope, you know, I've been down that path and thanks, but no thanks. Like I'm just not. For some of you, it could be transformation or rebirth of an ex, but for whatever reason, this person is not showing up. It's almost like having this in your distant past is the universe reminding you, wait, pick up where you left off, because what the fuck are you doing? This is not who you are or what you want. So savor what you want, make some big changes, and hey, let's get on it. Let's end the cycle and begin anew with a new person, new attitude, new everything. Yeah, and then you have your immediate future. So, and you have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is capability, it's stamina, it's perseverance. So this is like, all right, come on, Taurus, you know, grab the bull by the horns and let's go. Like, what are we waiting for? You think I'm vulnerable? You think I'm sitting here waiting for you? You think that I'm interested in only you? No. I know there are people out there who would like to romance me. I was hoping it was you. I was thinking it would be you, but it's not you. And you've shown me that time and time again. So I'm wearing this mask going, you know, hey, you text me, how are you? Good, how are you? And it flatlines. Hey, what are you up to? Working, what are you up to? And it flatlines. And now you're like, all of that is behind this mask because I know I have more to offer and I know there's somebody out there that has more to offer. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the end of the year. And you have the Three of Wands. So this is very interesting because you have the Three of Wands. You have a lot of fire energy going on. And so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. But the Three of Wands represents goals, planning, and future planning with somebody else. It's growth. It's partnership. If it was the Two of Wands, it would be like, you know, I'm just doing my own thing. The Three of Wands is almost like, hey, I'm ready. Like, throw it to me, I'm ready. Taurus, I'm not trying to dog on like this past connection or this current connection that maybe you guys are ghosting each other, you're not talking. There's still a very strong connection here, but this is almost like I'm getting the feeling that you're kind of like, no, if we can't come together and make this type of energy happen, big changes are coming. Because I had expectations for my life and I put some of that on the back burner for you, or some of it because you couldn't decide what you wanted or because we couldn't get along. Again, there's always two sides to every story, but the Three of Wands normally is like, okay, well, you guys are planning a future together, but then you've got this, the Death card, which is like changes, rebirth. Again, it could be a rebirth, but something's missing here. I feel like it's all talk and no show, and you're kind of like, well, at the end of the year, like you're putting a timestamp on it, and I said that to another sign too. No, you know what? I said that in a private read, recently. Literally, that I feel like you're putting a timestamp on it, where you're kind of like, I want to move forward with somebody, and if it's you, great, and if it's not, it'll be somebody else. Like I'm bigger than this whole scenario. And again, not in a conceited way. It's a confident, like, hey, guess what? I don't need the fuckarama, the drama. Like I'm done. I'm over it. Like, okay, we're done with it. So where are we moving to? Are we going to move on together, or are we going to stay stagnant and I'm going to move on to somebody else? So and I hate to say it, but I don't feel like they're necessarily showing up. And I feel like that, like they haven't necessarily shown up. And then you have this card, which is how you're feeling towards the end of the year. And you have the Eight of Swords, which I always use the same example with this one because I love this card. I not necessarily love it in the tense of the situation, but love the fact, this picture. But this is literally like this person is holding themselves out of the window over swords. Nobody's holding a gun to their head. Nobody's pushing them out the window. They're like, oh, I'm going to fall. Put a shirt on and walk out the front door. Like literally, hey Taurus, I hate to say it, but I'm being kind of openly just, it is what it is. But what is this? It's self-imprisonment. It's self-doubt. It's confusion. Like you're keeping yourself in a situation that isn't giving you this growth. And there are people who want this growth with you. Now, could this be a rebirth with this person? Yes. But at the same time, I very much feel like it's the end of the road to a certain extent for some of you. And like, it's been that way for a long time. So maybe it's time to, move on and see what else is out there. For some of you, again, it could be that you're going to have this growth with this person, but no, like I feel like it's almost like that feeling like I'm cheating on them, even though you're not even with them. Like if you go on a date, you're like, oh, what if we bumped into each other? Who cares? You're not together. And guess what? I feel like they haven't been present in a long time. Not necessarily that they're not contacting you, but they haven't been present in the fact that they haven't been telling you, showing you, proving you how much they love you. And you deserve better. The next card you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancer's card. You could be dealing with Cancer, which actually Taurus and Cancer are supposed to be extremely good matches. But the Chariot card, it's your hopes and fears. And your hope is that you can find somebody. And I keep getting this overall feeling that it's not this person, that it's anybody. That you're kind of like, if it's this person, universe, great. If it's not this person, then great. Because the Chariot is forward momentum, but it's moving on a path with somebody that has similar interests. Going down this road with somebody who has similar interests. And that's important. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. That would be boring. But it does need to be like, hey, if you want kids and they don't want kids, well, that may not mesh. If you want to get married and they never want to get married, that's probably not going to mesh. The Chariot is identifying what you want internally and then saying, how do we move forward from here? How do we get this forward momentum going? And so your hope is that you find somebody. And I hate to say it, cross watchers, but I feel like Taurus is kind of like, if it's you, great. And if it's not you, it'll be somebody spectacular. All right. Final card is your outcome card. And you have Temperance, which is patience, moderation, definitely like kind of taking the high road, going, I'm not going to panic about this anymore. If there were any panicky feelings before, if there are any, like, what are they up to? Who are they talking to? You're not buying into any of that. And the Temperance card, again, is about balance, moderation, patience. And I feel like a lot of you are exuding a patience of, look, the universe, the higher powers, they have my back. And I know they have my back. So I'm not going to rush into anything. Whether it's big changes like somebody new, or it's a change, this person comes back in and we try and regrow this, then it is what it is. Taurus, I feel like you're on the fence of, I don't have time for this. Like, and it's not even that you're busy. Well, everybody's busy. You know what I mean? It's not like you're busy dating 400 people or anything. It's like your mind is in a completely different place and you're going, I deserve the best. And if, my ex can come forward and bring that, great. But I'm not holding out for that. I'm holding out for what's best for me. Because then you have the Queen of Wands, which is clarifying temperance, which is Sagittarius' card, by the way. So you might be dealing with a Sag or have Sag placements. But the temperance card is saying, hey, I have patience. But the Queen of Wands is like, yeah, but I'm over here being patient, but I'm over here looking sexy as hell doing it. Like, legit. Like, it literally is the Queen of Wands is sensuous. It's, she's full of ferocity. I don't apply sex to the card, so she or he is full of ferocity. And the Queen of Wands is like, hey, I'm here. I'm confident. I'm glowing. I'm doing amazing. Now, what's interesting here is you have the Three of Pentacles, okay? The Three of Pentacles is often thought of as the third party card. So this person may be involved with the third party. Maybe it's you, but I tend to read towards, the sign I'm reading for. But cross-watchers always put me in my place in the comments saying, you're wrong, it was them. And I get it. But the Three of Pentacles is also about, some sort of teamwork, making things happen, similar to the Three of Wands. But in this scenario, it feels like a third party situation. So I feel like a lot of you are like, you know what? I get this very strong feeling that somebody keeps coming back to you, Taurus, or somebody keeps trying to get back in your life. And you're like, no, you're married. Or no, you wouldn't like lying to me. You cheated on me. Like you're still talking to this person. Like, it's weird. Like, they love you and they're like, they can't like let you go, but at the same time they're doing like bullshit moves because they're still talking to somebody else, or that they're, and it could even just be trust. You're up here, your vibrations up here, and their vibrations like down here. Now, the next two cards you have, the King of Pentacles with this Death card. I think the King of Pentacles is saying that you need somebody stable, and I don't necessarily think that this person is the stable person for you. That's why I think you're looking at a road less traveled, because I don't think you're wanting to go down this road again. I'm sorry, Taurus. I wish I could say, oh, it's all love and wonderful, but I don't think this person puts the energy or the desire into it until they think that they're losing you, or until they think that you're like right at the final straw of breaking off, and then they come in with, hey, what are you doing? How's life? And no, and it's not enough anymore. Because then you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is like, well, okay, going back to the King of Pentacles, this is stability. This is somebody who comes in who's like, hey, I've got my shit together. I know what's going on. You don't have to worry about this. Like, we match very well. The Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, you don't have to worry about this third party situation. You don't have to worry about any of that, because I would never do that to you. I would never put you in that situation. Now, for some of you, this is your ex who's coming back like that. But for a lot of you, I think it's no. I mean, this World card being the end of the cycle is just kind of like, no. Because then you have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is work, stamina. Like, this is somebody who's just concentrated on work. Not working on love, not working on business, working on family, working on kids. You're just kind of patiently with this temperance, waiting it out and going, nah, you know what? I'm not, like, I don't need to have all this drama in my life. You're good either way. All right, now, this is my Witchwood deck, which I love. They're not mass-produced, and they're very interesting. And you have the Mask. I don't read cards in reversals. This one didn't pop up in reversal, but had it, I would have. And you have Intrigue. So Intrigue, very interesting. I kind of feel like this says that whoever it is, and I'm laughing because I kind of feel like you're like, oh, hell no, take a walk. I kind of feel like whoever this is that you're dealing with, or you have dealt with, who's the ex, or this person you're not in communication with, I kind of feel like they're all of a sudden going, well, wait, what are you up to? Hey, but wait. You have the Mask here too. When I said, like, you're stronger than this, you're capable, you don't need them. You don't need anybody. You want somebody. There's a big difference. And the Mask here is going, Intrigue. Other people, Taurus, are interested in you. Maybe it's time to intriguingly take a look at who's interested in you. Okay, really quick, I'm going to pull an inspirational card for you. I love these cards, and it's an oracle deck that is inspiring. And your card is Jupiter Syrinx. Explore the unknown. Get out there, date. I'm sorry, Taurus. I would love to say, oh, they're coming back. They're rushing back. Yeah, they're rushing back, but I don't think their intentions are good. And I don't even know that they're rushing. I think that they're walking very slowly back in, and most of it's going to be because you're possessing this Queen of Wands energy, and they're going, well, wait, I mean, you can't be stable without me. You can't feel good without me. Are you kidding me? No, Taurus, like, you deserve way better than that. You know this. Come on.